Welcome to Jay's Gamepad, everybody, and I want to talk about Naughty Dog and The Last of Us Part 2 with all the reviews and how Neil Druckmann these gaming access media are talking and things have been said, and just everything about that art and games and reviews and stuff like, been online. I keep on seeing these videos, go on Instagram, I keep on reading Neil Druckmann and other reviewers and gaming access. You know what I mean? Like just the things that they're saying, and this whole thing about art and opinions on games, and look, I just want to start off by saying, like I always say, like art is subjective. I'm an artist. I'm a graphic designer. I used to do music and stuff, as well. Like, art is a creative thing that is so subjective. That's what makes art art. That is the beauty of art, the artistry. The fact that you're creating something out of nothing, and you're giving it to the world. And when I see, and I'm saying this because you got the Access Gaming Media that gave The Last of Us Part 2 basically 10s out of 10s and 5s out of 5. The majority of them, probably like 99% of them. And you've got the then you've got the the gamers' reaction, like people like us, people like myself, they had to go and buy the game and play it and experience it for myself and stuff. And you've got a lot of people that are giving it zeros and stuff, and for whatever reasons. And I've seen the way that how Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, and and a lot of these Access Gaming Media who reviewed the game is talking and acting things they're saying online, on Twitter, on YouTube and stuff. And I'm watching all this stuff, and I'm hearing and I'm reading what these people are saying. I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is going on? Like I saw Neil Druckmann and Ashley and Troy Baker on Kind of Funny Games being interviewed and stuff. And that the things that like Neil was saying and some of the things that Troy was saying as well, I just thought to myself, like, I don't get what you're actually. I don't get how you can say the things you're saying if you're meant to be an actor. If you're an actor, you're an artist. Neil Druckmann, he's an artist because he's a game producer. He makes games and puts that to the media. The thing with art is this, is that as artists, we are sensitive. That's just how art, and the reason why we are sensitive because we pour a lot of ourselves into the work, whatever it is, personal, dark, whatever, vulnerable, whatever. We put a lot of time and energy for it, and our soul and all sorts into it. So most artists are just commonly sensitive, But as artists, we know that about ourselves because we're the one that's creating. So we know how. So we know how we are because if we're not a certain way, we can't produce, we can't create, we can't give people things, we can't give you anything. You know what I mean? We can't give you this thing that I did, that I created, the art. So we all know that. With actors, singers, everybody, we all know that. But we also know that when we put our work out there, we know that it's subjective to everybody. That's what art is. It becomes the moment you put it out there, it's out of your hands. Was it like your baby, or like a bird flying flying away from the nest, spreading its wings and stuff. You don't want to let it go. Something might happen. But you let it go into the wild, into the wilderness, essentially to fend for itself, for people to look at it and have their own opinion about it. Now, if people looks at a piece of art, which what this game was, The Last of Us Part 2 is a piece of art. If you look at this piece of art, or in this game show we say you play this piece of art, experience this art because it's an experience, and you decide you don't like it and you think this game is a piece of shit, like honestly a piece of shit, like you played it, and this is the thing as well, yeah, is that you have to experience something to have a real opinion about it. Whether you watch it, whether you play it, whatever it's like, you have to experience it to have an opinion about it. Which is the reason why I always tell people, don't listen to what other people say. Go and try it for yourself. You know, like there's this saying that that I heard when I was younger about art. Well, there's a apple in the tree, but it's a season when apples it's not ripe, and your friend plucks the apple and bites into the apple, and it's like, and he spits it out and it's like, it's not ripe, it's sour and stuff, and he tells you it's sour. Just because he told me it's sour, it doesn't mean 100% that it was actually sour. I might think it's not sour, or I might pick an apple that isn't sour. The point is, was it not going to know until you experience it? You take the apple, you buy it, you experience it yourself. Yeah, you're right, it's sour, but you've experienced it. You haven't just gone off what someone else has said. And that's what art is. That's what art is. So when somebody experiences a piece of art, and they have their opinion, and they say they don't like it, they think it's a piece of shit, the person who creates it, like Neil Druckmann, for example, he doesn't have a right to tell you that your opinion is wrong. He doesn't have a right to put anybody down, to make anybody feel less than what they are. To try and say, only smart people can understand. An artist doesn't have that right. That's not what the artist is. That's not what the artist is meant to be doing. The artist creates and puts it out into the world and people will decide what they think about that. It's not for you to design, to make something and say this is a masterpiece. Like, it isn't up to me to say that. Like, I might think it's the best thing since brown bread and chocolate spread. You know what I'm saying? But you might bite into it and think it tastes like a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So, but that's your opinion. And I understand that as an artist, you're going to catch feelings. You are going to, I ain't gonna front. I've caught feelings. You know what I mean, like when I've done pieces of work before, and people say they don't like it or they feel a certain way about it. I feel a certain way about it, but I'm going to, because I'm an artist, and part of me is sensitive to that, because because part of me is in that work, so I care about that, and yeah, I might want it to be seen in the best light, but a real artist will always want a person to have their own true, honest opinion about it. You know. Like a true artist, any true artist, across the board, that's what they would want. Somebody give their honest opinion about something. And if you ask them why, that they will give you a honest answer and explain why. You know? And as an artist, it's like, okay, do you know what? Cool, you know. I respect your opinion, you know. Like maybe next time when I paint something or design something, you might like it. You know, I'm sorry you didn't like this one. Like, that's how, as artists, we generally should be conducting ourselves. That's how it is, because it's a piece of art. Art isn't something that can be dictated to. No one can't tell me how to make or design anything. I will design whatever I goddamn want. Like, I'm going to create it, or I created it. The same thing with The Last of Us Part 2. As much as I have issues with that game, yeah, and have issues with the choices that Naughty Dog, Neil Druckmann, you know, the issues that I had with the choices that they made, it was their choice. Like, they created it, they made it, you know. And not everybody, and this is the thing, not everything is for everybody, and it's not bad to say that, because because that's what art is. Art isn't necessarily for everybody. Like I always say that you could look at 10 people could look at a piece of art and have completely different reactions, feelings, and experiences and thoughts about it. Sometimes you can get, like you might get the majority that will like something, or the majority that will dislike something. But when you sit down and talk to them, or like they give their opinion or their review, and you read into it, as much as they like it as the next person, you tend to find that most might be similar, but there'd be very different reasons for why they like this and that and so forth and so on. Why they like that content, why they like that piece of work and stuff. So when I hear Neil Druckmann saying the things that he said, like, don't get me wrong, yeah, like, from a financial standpoint, I can understand why Naughty Dog, Neil, certain people are getting real defensive about it and dealing with it and conducting themselves in a very, very unartistic way. That's a good way to put it. You know, like, I do get it, because Last of Us Part 2, one of the highest selling PlayStation games in the UK, sold 4 million, you know, which is good. But it has now, you know, had the biggest drop ever, like 80%. And you got other games that, like Spider-Man, Days Gone, you know, they've had like 30% drops, 40% drops? I think Uncharted 4 might have had a 78% drop after its first week or something like that, in its second week or whatever it is, you know. So I do get it, because from a standpoint, like, Naughty Dog are probably like bugging out, thinking, shit, like, this game don't make money, like, because the first Last of Us, overall, I think it made like 25 mil, if I'm not mistaken, like, that's long legs, you know what I'm saying? And the amount of money that was, like, the amount of money it probably cost for Naughty Dog and Sony to make the first game is nothing compared to what it cost to make the second game. It's like films, like, if you pump in 300 mil to make a game, after advertising and after it's been shown in the cinemas and people take their cuts, whatever, your film's got to make a certain amount of money for you to break even, let alone make profit. And it's the same thing with games, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that it's made, 4 million, but dropped to 80%, was it in the second week, is not a good thing. So I can understand why Neil Druckmann and certain people are trying to defend it from a financial standpoint, because Sony's probably thinking, do you know what, yeah, like, you know, all this political bullshit you was coming with, and how you chose to, you know what I mean, like, go with the story, where you went with it, it's not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, you know, it dropping 80% and what could potentially happen in the future is probably the outcome to that. But I just don't, you know what I mean? But regardless of the pressure that, like, you know, your parent company might be putting onto you and whatever to try and hype this game up and to do whatever, like, I think it's bad. Like, I saw this thing online that I think Sony representative wanted to talk to, I think it was Ponolog reviewer? Anyway, and he was just like saying that how basically you don't understand why they gave it the review they gave it, and some of the things they said felt like it was a bit out. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, as a curator, it's not your right to dictate how a person sees something. Now you can sit down and you can have a conversation. You can have a conversation with them. And the person can say, "This is what I was trying to like convey, or like express, or you know, I was trying to show this, and it came from this to that, and this is the reason why." And I mean, like, you can go into the finer details and you know, and the intricate things of the reason why you chose to do certain things, and this is what you're trying to portray. But as an artist, it's very condescending and disrespectful and way out of line to try and tell anybody or to put anybody down for having their own honest opinion, regardless if it's what you like or not. I mean, regardless if you want to hear it. You know, like, no artist should be doing that at all. You know, and I do think that when you are creating for somebody, like for example, that I will get a design brief. So say I've got to design a logo and I get a design brief from a company. I have to work from that design brief, but I've got to create something unique and something that's very unique and individual to that company or to that person. So that's where that uniqueness and my creativity comes into it, if you get what I mean. Now, if I create I do 10 different logos, 10 examples, 10 logo design, and I hand it over to the client, and he looks at it and says, "I think they're all shit," you know what I'm saying? That's my fault for not, for not anticipating or not giving the client what he wants within my creativity, because he's essentially he or she, whoever, they are essentially paying for it. So when you're in an industry, like a gaming industry, and you're making a game coming off a very beloved first game with very beloved characters, it's your responsibility as a creator to create and take this story into, into creative new ways. With this, at the same time of respecting the history, the story, and the characters of the, of the story that you're telling and where these characters are going. It's your responsibility to do that. You know. So if someone, if somebody says, "I felt like," where was it like the fact that when Joe, I thought it was too early for Joe to get killed, and the way he got killed didn't make any sense, and the way he portrayed his character didn't get any sense. Didn't make any sense? You can't get angry at somebody for having that opinion or saying that, because that's something you built up from the first game anyway. And it was your responsibility, your job, to give and to provide the best product, the best art, experience, game to your audience. And this is what I find annoying. Yeah, all these access gaming media are breaking. Bending over backwards for for Sony, Naughty Dog, all these gaming companies or whatever. Yeah, all these studios. And the thing that annoys me is the fact that they're breaking. They're bending over backwards, breaking their backs. But the opinion, the one opinion, or the opinion that should matter to you most, matters to Sony, Naughty Dog, whoever, all these companies, are the people that buy your games. The regular people. They're the only opinion that you should, that should matter to you. Because we're in a time where a lot of these access gaming media, like IGN, Game Informer, or whatever, they are literally in their pockets, in all these studios' pockets. And I don't mean literally as in money's been physically under the table being passed. I'm not saying that. Maybe it has. I don't know that. But because you're in their pocket to the point where you get free access, they will send you gifts. When these games come out, you get free games. You're not paying for them. And I find it really weird that Sony, Xbox, whoever, or gaming studios care more about their opinion, more about their review, than the people that's actually buying your product, buying your art, buying your game. I don't get it. I wouldn't make a game for them, for the gaming, for the access gaming media. I wouldn't make a game for them. I would make a game for the people that's gonna buy my game. Because at the end of the day, yeah, just because you know what I mean, sell well and you make loads of money, it doesn't mean that your game or the art is particularly good. It just means it sold well. You know what I mean? It just means the advertising was good. Or in this case, the false advertising or the manipulation. You know, like Last of Us 2 was always gonna make money, just how much money, and if the game was gonna have staying power like the first one did. I don't think it's going to, because of everything. Because everything happened before, striking down his YouTube channel for having an opinion, you know, doing something that's illegal. All these gaming access media, like. I mean, who was it? I think it was someone from IGN that was basically saying something about, if you don't like this game, you're a bigot and whatever. You're a homophobe, you're a racist, you're a sexist. If you don't like the game. So you're telling me, if I don't like this piece of art, because I don't like the way the story was told, I didn't think that the game played particularly well, whatever. Not talking about the fact that, not even mentioning, the fact that the main character Ellie is lesbian, or had a transgender kid or whatever. Not even talking about that. Just was it if I just say I don't like the game because the story's shit, or I don't like the game because I thought the gameplay itself was shit, like I'm meant to be a racist or sexist or homophobe or whatever. And this is and you think you have a right to tell me that? It's what I don't understand. Like, you don't have a right to tell me that or tell anybody that, because it's a piece of art. It's subjective. Furthermore, I paid for it. I spent £160 I bought a collector's edition. You, the person that's trying to tell me or tell you or whoever that that you're every ism under the sun, they didn't pay for their game. They got given the game for free. Something that's meant to be bought and consumed and played and enjoyed or not enjoyed or whatever, or like to have an experience, but you're meant to actually pay for the experience, all that time and energy. But I'm meant to take on board somebody that got the game for free. I'm meant to take on board somebody's opinion when it's not based on an artistic point of view, because that's what it should all be. It should be based on art. If your opinion is you think that the game's very political, and it shouldn't be, and it's talking about what's happening in this world right now, but it's meant to be post-apocalyptic. The game will be set in a post-apocalyptic time. You can understand that. Because why would you put them type of things in there? Like games, like films, games, anime, comics, all these type of things, yeah. They might have real world elements into it, little drops, whatever. But it's meant to be, but it's meant to entertain you. It's meant to take you to another world. It's meant to make you forget about the real world because real life is hard, man. Real life is fucking hard. It's hard. Even for people who's got money, rich people, it's hard. Inside, up here, and out here, it's fucking hard. It's beautiful at the same time. It's messy. It's violent, but it's beautiful and pretty and kind, and there's love there as well. And there's so much things in the world, but real life is very hard. So when we watch these films and these and all these other mediums and play these games, we play these games because we want to have fun. We want to enjoy ourselves. We want to go to another world, another fantasy, or have a different. Have a really cool experience that you can only get from whatever you're consuming, from that art. And to have someone tell you that you're something just because you have an opinion on a piece of art is fucking out of order and disrespectful. And I think, do you know what, yeah, if Sony and Naughty got any sense, they need to stop what they're doing. They need to stop that bullshit, because you're going to alienate us, the gamer, the people that consume your work, your art. You better fucking fix up, man, because it's not good. And I don't appreciate myself or anybody, I don't care who you are, where you're from, creed, nationality, gender, whatever. I don't care who you are. You don't have a right to tell me how I should consume a piece of art and try and tell me how I should think and act. Fuck off. You know what I mean? Go and fuck yourself, man. You know, it's just been pissing me off. I've been seeing all this stuff for days and days and days. It's just really, really annoying. And I just think that people have forgotten what art is. I mean, I think a lot of these these artists, these creators, they're forgetting what it is, because like that's not how artist talks. That's not how even an artist thinks. That's not how artist reacts. You know, obviously I can't tell artists how to feel and whatever, but you don't condemn the people that's consuming your art. Because the moment you start doing that, you cease to be an artist. Like I said, we're all sensitive in general as artists, but we already know that. So you develop the mentality, you develop the thick skin, you develop how to take criticism, even if it's constructive or not. You know. And art comes from in here, and life, and out there, and through your experiences. And I can say that because I'm an artist. So when I see all this shit, it just really upsets me. And it's really sad. You know, and all it is just people's opinion. And people should have an opinion. We want people to have an opinion. Because we can learn things. Experience things that we've never experienced before. It can make us a better people, like a better person, better people. If we just listen, if we just see, if we taste and smell, we take shit in and have that open-mindedness. You know, I like it, you don't, cool. You know, but we can talk about it. Why don't you like it? Why do I like it? Oh, I like it because of this. Connection. I mean, art sparks and forms, and I mean, like, it's just a beautiful thing, and it's becoming a thing where it's becoming very toxic to the point where it's burning people, and it's burning the art. You know, you can't censor art. The moment you censor art, it's not art anymore, because you're censoring somebody's expression. And like I said, art or a piece of work or whatever, it's not always, it's not for everybody, and but that's okay. That's okay. Maybe the next one will be for me. You know, but the way you treat people, the way you talk to people, the way you carry on as a curator, as an artist, as a studio, whatever, is very important. And the way Neil Druckmann, Naughty Dog, Troy Baker, a lot of what I'm hearing a lot of people say, they're very in their bubble, very arrogant, very missing the point. To be honest with you, all you should be saying is like, look, I think the game is really good, I put a lot of time and energy into it, and I want you to experience it. You know, don't listen to anybody, make your own choice about it. If you like it, you don't like it, I respect that, because that's your choice. You know what I mean? You paid for it, you experienced it, that's your right to experience that and to have your own choice. Not up here, you know what I mean, like making excuses and being condescending and disrespecting like large portions of your gaming audience, regardless. You know, I don't give a fuck if I'm like, you know what I mean, like doing work for some racists, like someone that don't like black people. So what? If you don't like black people, that's his fucking choice. You know, like, I mean, if being around me isn't going to change his mind, or like experiencing my art or my work isn't going to make him feel good or whatever, then cool. Because maybe it's just not for him. And if his reason for not liking it is for the colour of my skin, because I'm a black artist and I created this painting, then cool. That's your choice. You looked at it, you don't like it. So I don't like it. You know, because of me, cool, whatever. Because I created it. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I'm just going on now anyway. So I just thought I'd just talk a bit about it. just get my feelings and out there, express that, you know, because it's been quite annoying and frustrating, and I haven't really heard or seen anybody really tackle it or speak about it from an artistic point of view and stuff. So yeah, man, love art, experience it. Anyway, let me know what you think. How do you feel about what's been happening with The Last of Us Part 2, with all the striking, with the way that the gaming access media are talking and acting, and their so-called 10 out of 10 reviews, Naughty Dogs and Neil Druckmann and Troy Baker, their remarks and stuff. Drop some comments down below, everyone. You know what I mean? Like, let me know what you think, and let me know if you agree. If you don't agree, maybe we could talk or chop it up. I don't know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll speak to you soon.